Hi, welcome to Art Draw. Today I'm going to draw Freddy, so Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm going to do the head up here with his hat, claws coming up here, and then just a bit of the upper body, the shoulders there, tapering off there. So it's going to be a cool shot for Halloween. Let's go in, let's draw that hat. So what I'm going to do, make a real inked area for the hat. I'm going to draw that outline. I'm going to go just over to the right a little bit first of all. I'm just going to go up. Bring my pen up, curve it upwards to the top of the hat area there. Then I'm going to come across this way, head downwards a little bit. And what we do is we'll just sort of make that hat a little bit battered as we're drawing around it. So just slightly uneven, bring it down to there and about here. Now the brim of the hat will go right around this way here. Because I'll fill it in, what I'll do, I'm going to go and draw a nice curve over to the left, all the way down, probably to about there. So that point around here. So let's go for it. I'm going to just grab the pen, draw that rim of the hat, nice curve around inwards to about here. And then I've got this part on the right, going over to about here, it's got a claw coming around there. So I'm just gonna draw it in down to about that point there. So if I go from that corner point there, come out, curve around like that, bring it in and down, and then we'll stop about there. And let's just look at kind of like the outline of Freddy. So what I'm going to do is go down about here. I've got the sort of the area where his head goes into the hat. I'm going to draw a line around here, just nice and uneven again, really wobbly, coming down to about there. Then I've got the side of his head coming in, so I've got a side of his head that kind of comes down this way here. And we have his ear sort of coming around here, and it's all sort of burnt up, so just really uneven. So come around this way, down like that. Now up here, his claws are coming in. I reckon there's, around here we've got one of the blades coming down. So I think the blade probably comes up to about here. I'm gonna just bring it down to the edge of his finger there. So I'm gonna bring it in, down to about there, go back up, kick it out, get that blade on his finger down to there, just curve it over there. And now I've got that, what I can do is I can just draw like the rest of his head, and his ear sort of comes around this way here, sort of down there, curves around in an ear sort of way, and then it just sort of folds into the neck area. So I've got, come down here where the brow of the hat is there, down here, wiggle it down there. And then what I can do is sort of draw his jumper area in. So that comes out here, and he's got the cuff of the neck is quite battered. So I'm just going to draw some little sort of scuffed little sort of zigzaggy bits. You can be quite loose with that, that's all good. Sort of coming around this way here, sort of show that it's all sort of threaded, sort of bare around there, that's it. Now, the rest of his top kind of comes down this way, so I'm gonna just sort of draw a little curve there where the top of his top comes in, and then just come outwards, sort of around this way, around there where his shoulder will be, and then it just sort of tapers down, tapers off down there. What I can do now is just have a look at this gloved area. So what we've got is the arm coming down here, and then his sleeve comes up this way. I'm going to just, from here, just put a little line in, sort of bring up a little line there, and it kind of comes to, again, a bit of a scagged cuff around here, and again, I'll just zigzag up and down around here, little bits of thread off the cuff of Freddy's jumper, just around like that. The cuff kind of sort of comes around this way here, sort of meets up around this point there. And then it comes out around here and then just sort of goes down that way there. So we've got that hand area sort of coming apparent now. So I've got to sort of join up this cuff area here, this hand, to this blade here. So what I'll do is I'm going to start over here. I'm going to draw like the little mechanism for Freddy's glove. So there's a little piece that goes along the top of his hand. I'm going to draw that in first. So it's like a line that goes up here, kind of curves around this way here, comes downwards down there and sort of joins up a little curve there. So I'll just go around there. A couple of little bolts on that like that. And then what I can do, I'm going to just join up this point here, so we have that join going on. So it looks like a little mechanism that comes out, one little one there, and then we go up this way where his finger would be, right up to there. And then we come down, we sort of come sort of down this way here, like that, and these little bits are sort of joined up together. Got another one coming up here, so I've got another little mechanism point there, and then I've got another one of these little bits sort of comes up this way like that. And there's a little nice sort of right angle there, I think. Just curves around a bit, and then we'll diagonally bring it down back to that curve there. Then we've got another little bit here where we can just bring the finger up this way and in, and then we've got another little line that comes up and around like that. Another point here that kind of joins up to the finger there, a couple of little circular bits we can pop in there now. There's another little one there. And now I've got those main bits in, I can draw a bit of the finger coming in here, around that way. This finger that comes out this way, so just draw the main part of it there. It comes underneath that bit. Yeah, that's cool. Then I've got this one sort of goes down there, and this final one here just sort of comes out around here like that. That's it, I can just pop a little bit in there. And then we've got those sort of trademark claws going in again. So I've got one going along here. So I've got one coming out from about here. We can go around near those hat areas and curve it down. And then we can kind of bring it back on ourselves. Like that. Got one, it must be off this one here, kind of comes over this way. So it's going to come out, sort of come out a bit here, curve around and then back like that. And then this one, this finger here kind of comes, I guess you can see a little bit of the finger there, maybe a little bit underneath that, and then we've got this nice blade area there that comes around like that. Okay, cool. Now, what we do have is a little bit of hand underneath there, so it's going to take up this part here, so it kind of comes up this way, the palm of the hand, and then it just kind of just squeezes in to this point here and around here. We just put a few little lines in around there to keep it nice and loose like that. And then what I can do while I'm here now, I've got this head area coming in here. I can just go down here where the neck is, and we can draw the rest of this brow, this hat, as it comes under here through this point here, bring it in like that. Now we've got the rest of this sort of cuffed area still sort of just spiking up around underneath this blade like that. So just a few little scuff marks there. And then what I can do is start drawing the shoulder area. I've got a little line there, and then I'm going to bring my pen out, down and around like that. Just go around where the shoulder is, and then we can just drop down here where the rest of his jumper goes. So we've got that kind of shoulder area going on there. Now, I'm going to go in. I think it's a good time to start putting the facial features of Freddy together. I think it's going to start working out a bit now. So what I'll do is, from the top here, go down to about there. And I'm going to draw a little sort of pointy nose like that. Nostrils kind of come up, one there, just curve around there. And then that nose sort of sweeps up just a little bit like this into where the midsection of the eyes are. And then we've got his eyes sort of coming outwards from this nose area. So what I'm going to do is about here, just draw in a few little line marks for his brows, make him quite sort of evil. Like, again, just keep it loose. Just draw around there. Got a little curve here where we've got the, that's it, inner part of an eye. Maybe a little bag under the eye, right? Under there. And on this side, his nose sort of swoops in around here, and then we've got a couple of lines sort of scooting out from there. Maybe a bit of a hint of the brow going up there. And I can draw a little oval, or fairly wide eye there. I'm going to curve it around here. There we go, maybe a little bag area around here, a couple of little lines under there. And we're starting to get those eyes coming together. And what you can do is just make them a little bit darker than they should be. And this is to just kind of accentuate Freddy's kind of evil eyes there. What I will do now is just draw a little bit of a pupil, sort of maybe one there, maybe one around here. Yeah, so it's kind of looking into the frame of the picture. And then what we'll do is we'll just lightly tap, little curve around that. Nice, okay, we've got that kind of look, Freddy's eyes coming over. Let's just put the mouth in, then we can add a little bit more detail, right? So if I come down here, there's a bit of a shadow here, a few little lines out where his nose is, and then a few little lines just where his mouth is here, kind of comes to a point around here, so just curve it out around. And what I'll do is kind of draw in a little section where his teeth are, so nice and sort of jagged, and then we can kind of draw in his little curves where his teeth would be. So really quite creepy sort of teeth just looping around there. And then I'm going to come down, curve the pen around, come out a bit here, and that's where his mouth area will be. Nice, okay. So what I'll do now is just give Freddy a bit more of his trademark look. He's got these crazy skin elements going on, so I'm gonna sort of draw in a few little curves there where his brows would be, and then he's got these little bits of detail on the skin. So just draw the pen around, just a few little squiggles, so give him that sort of bumpy appearance. A couple of lines down where the nostril is, sort of around here, sort of mark around where the mouth would be. Underneath here, sort of chin's appearing. And then on the midsection here where his cheeks are, I'm going to draw these sort of looping little curvy sort of melted bits around his face. So again, nice and loose, we can just draw these little horrible bits in around Freddy just to accentuate that skin. Maybe a couple of little lines coming out of the mouth around here. Again, he's sort of got these little looping bits going to the ear area, around like that. So nice little, just little marks going around the face. See, it's starting to come together, maybe coming off from the top of his head and around here, and maybe in here, just a couple of little lines just to make it look a little bit sort of textured. Maybe around in there. Maybe coming down from that hat area, we're just drawing some little lines. Sort of adds to the effect of this shadow, right? Draw an absolute load in. His neck goes around here, it goes around under there, and he's got this ear area here, so I'm going to sort of draw around that, and again, just maybe some darker bits around here so it can make the knife area sort of pop a bit. And then this neck area here, just a few little sort of scoopy curved little loops just to show off the sort of skin. Go back around. Yeah, that's nice, that's looking good. I'm gonna just pop in a little bit of a more evil eyebrow by pushing it just around those areas there. Cool, okay. Now, let's look at these blades. Just gonna add a few little line elements to these. And in these points here, I'm just gonna sort of add some little line going on. So that's that creepiness, the character. Around like that. Just a few bits and pieces. This area here, this little bit that goes around the hand, that can be sort of, maybe I'll just add a little bit of ink to that in a moment. And then he's got his trademark sweater, right? So going around the sweater, he's got these loops. So he's kind of, I guess, one's going around here, just really nice and jagged, go around his top and sort of give a hint that he's got this sort of jagged loop going around him. Same on the other side here. There's probably like one going around this way here and down. A little line coming around here. Be really loose with it. Make it really spooky for Halloween, right? And there's probably one going around this way, around there, around here as well. And then on that arm, we're just going to put that, all those little loops in. Add to that, and then that's looking pretty cool. What I will do is just go grab slightly thicker Sharpie. I'm just going to go around those edges. Just really go around all those edge points. It just helps the detail pop a little bit. So go around this sort of jumper area around here. This little point there. Yeah. Just to help accentuate these little blade parts and the hand area. There we go. And then what I can do is get myself a bit more of a chunky marker, get the black out, and what I'm going to do is just fill in this hat area, really ink it in. Yeah, go around here and just block in all this area here. It's a nice creepy picture for Halloween. It's one of the more fun characters to draw, I always find. Good old Freddy. Really block in that ink. Yeah, just be careful around there. That's cool, and then I can, there we go, block in the rest of that. Quite nice to add this block of colour. Nice bit of inking around there, check that out. Now I've got to do that mouth as well. Just going to fill in the mouth at the bottom there. There we go, yeah, it's starting to come together. Let's block in a little bit more of these points here. And I think this bit here we can also just add in a nice bit around there. That's it, starting to work now. And then we've got this jumper part, so these sort of darker bits, I'm just gonna sort of just go in there just loosely at the bottom here, just pop in some ink. Yeah, that's good. Nice and creepy, and the same here, you don't have to fill it all in, just give a nice impression that this bit's being kind of blocked in nice and loosely with your pen. It's a nice contrast, a blocky look to bit of detail we put, especially around the face, right? Got that going on. Maybe just block a few more bits in here. Just fill that colour in. And then we could just block this bit as well on the arm. Maybe just come around the edge here, just block that sort of arm area around here. Yeah, that's it. And then I'll just get the Sharpie back, and I'll just add a few more little bits in the jumper, some little bits of detail just to make him look really creepy for Halloween. I guess the arm's probably coming down this way, right? There's probably some stitching in here. Maybe there's some little stitch parts that pop out of this jumper, make it look like a really itchy, scratchy kind of jumper. It's awkward to wear. Like the threads coming around, this jumper coming off. You know, make it, yeah, that's it. Really good and spooky for Halloween, right? And let's just pop a few little bits of hatching in. And in here in the hand area, maybe just a few bits, just add a few little bits of hatching, make it all the more effective. Just a little bit more around so these points, try and make it look, yeah, more atmospheric. Maybe there's a bit coming out from this blade here, and a few little more marks around here, around the eyes. That's it, make him look all the more horrible. Lots of little blocky bits in. Kind of going all around there, yeah, that's looking cool how that works there. And then I'll just add around these block bits, just a few little squiggles and that, so it all kind of ties together, right? And I might go in a moment, just go and add a little bit of red for this jumper, a little bit of sort of pink and grey for the face. Yeah, there we go. It can be like really quite loose with your picture, but it's still like quite effective. Just like around the edge there. Adds to that horror aspect, right? There we go. There is Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know who else I can draw. I hope you like this Halloween season this year. It's been really fun to do. And I'll see you again soon. All right, bye for now.